Rec- Can you see me?
Yes.
Sorry, I'm sitting on two pillows. All right. Hi, Jane Doe.
Good morning.
I'm glad you were able to go through the pre-listing packet, and thank you for choosing me and us to help you sell your home. Inside your email, you already got the listing presentation, and it has all the paperwork in there. It's a PDF. It contains all that paperwork. But I'm going to go through each of the pages that are on the table of contents to briefly talk to you and explain a little bit about how this is going to go. Okay? So page number one, of course, is, the cover page. Says, hey, how we doing? I'm Lisa. I'm from Emperor Group Realtors, and I'm here to help you not be stressed out to sell your house. All right,
Mhm.
page number two. This page just explains the purpose of the whole packet. It's designed to keep everything organized, easy to reference while your home is listed and during the transaction process. Page number three, okay? Lists, these are documents that you already have and
Mhm.
that were provided to you in that pre-listing packet that have already been filled out. That
Great.
included the CMA, the marketing information, seller preparation tip, brokerage information. This page is simply like a quick reference guide with page numbers so that if we're talking about the brokerage information, you're like, oh, it's right here, and you can just look back and find it easily. Okay.
Mhm.
Page number four has a table of contents of what is in this package. Okay, the first thing that we're going to talk about is the residential lease agreement, which is from pages 5 to 15. These pages contain standard conditions of the listing agreement. They explain the important details as responsibilities of the seller and the broker, marketing permission, commission terms, legal disclosures, dispute procedures, and other protections related to the sale of your property. I'll guide you through all these sections, even though that they sound like a lot and can be
Mhm.
really overwhelming. Basically, the key things to keep in mind is this section confirms property details. It verifies the ownership of the property. It outlines the listing price that we agreed on based on the CMAs that I delivered to you in the pre-listing packet.
Mhm.
It explains the listing period and the amount of time your home will be actively listed for sale. Okay. This section reviews broker compensation, explains how commissions are paid, as well as who pays the commissions. This gives me authorization. This form gives me authorization to market your property through the MLS, online advertising, social media, professional photography, signage, and other marketing platforms. You're basically giving me permission to just put your house in front of all the people that need to see it so that I can get it sold for you at the price you want it sold for. Okay. My goal here is just basically to maximize the exposure, bring the strongest possible buyers to you, and I'll be actively marketing your property online. Just you name it, I'll be doing it. All right. So that way we can generate activity and get some offers real quickly. All right. This agreement also explains showing instructions and how appointments will be scheduled through Showing Time, which is an app. It makes the process organized, convenient for you. You could be like, I'm not available at these days, I'm not available at these times, and that will be like, nope, not available, not available, you know. This section also in this one, 5 through 15 pages, It explains intermediary representation, which simply means representation is handled if a buyer, how a representation is handled if a buyer is interested in your property but also working with my brokerage.
Mm-hmm.
So if I represent you, but the buyer that wants to buy your property is also a part of my brokerage, it explains how that's handled. Because if I represent you, I fully represent you. And that's my fiduciary duty to you. So the final on that sheet is the signature page. You know, it just confirms all the things that we discussed and officially authorizes me to start marketing and getting your home sold for what you want. All right, page number 16 is the request for mortgage information. This form allows us to request a payoff from your mortgage company without you having to deal with all of that. We'll verify the balance, we'll verify the taxes. I will take care of the escrow information, the closing details, all of that is just basically on me. Okay. Page number 17, authorization to furnish TILA RESPA disclosure. This form authorizes the lenders and title companies to share closing disclosure and transaction information with the brokerage and me so that we can make sure everything keeps moving smoothly and accurately. Okay, that's something that's really important, especially working with different title companies, you know.
Mm-hmm.
Well, page 18 is the seller authorization to release and advertise information. This form just gives permission to advertise certain information about the property, including what you're offering, you know, like we talked about that $1,000 that would be like, you know, I'll pay the I'll pay the survey. The survey is a whopping $600, you know. That's something less off of your closing. That the seller authorization to release and advertise information is just giving us permission to do this.
Okay.
Um the seller disclosure is 19 through 22. You disclose anything that you're aware of. This is important document in your packet. It discovers it allows you to provide information about the condition of your property, what you know about your property. Um, if you know that the roof needs repairs or if there are defects, but that's where that pre-inspection comes in. We'll know that beforehand. We'll take care of all those things beforehand. But the seller disclosure notice just basically protects both you and the future buyer from being by being transparent and upfront. Hey, I think the roof is leaking. I don't know. I think
Mm-hmm.
it, but you told them, therefore, you know, this form doesn't expect like perfection. It just wants you to be honest. So when you go through this, don't be like, well, oh my gosh, I'm gonna have to do a whole inspection. You put in what you know. Does the AC work? Yep. Does the stove work? Yep. Keep it as simple as possible. And if you run into any questions, just call me and I'll help you walk right through it. The T47 is on page 23 and it's a residential real property affidavit. This works together with the survey and helps the title company confirm that there have not been any major changes or improvements affecting the property boundaries. Like, let's say if there's an easement somewhere and somebody said, "Oh, well, we're taking this much of your property away from you." Um, it has to be notarized, but I'll send one to you. You're not gonna have to go and find one. All right. That basically is everything. Now, once everything is complete, I'll actively start marketing your property immediately. We're gonna, throughout the process, I'm gonna keep you updated with showings from buyers, feedback, marketing activity, and all offers that come in. My goal is to make this process as smooth, organized, and stress-free as possible while getting your home sold on the best terms.
Okay.
So we go from there. Any questions that you have, just shoot them over to me.
None. All right. Thanks so much.